Hey there friends, how many times have we heard the phrase, do as I say, not as I do? First, check out my friends at CMMG. Go to cmmg.com. You can use my discount code FTATF for a good discount over there. Again, my discount code is FTATF. Get some really cool stuff. One thing I recommend is a 22 conversion kits. I'm going to be doing a giveaway in conjunction with CMMG on the 22 conversion kits very, very soon. It's a cheap, inexpensive way to get some good training in without costing you a fortune in 5.56 ammo. So I highly recommend looking into their 22 conversion kits. Again, use my code FTATF to get a discount. Visit them at cmmg.com. A breaking news story from my friend John Crump. The Philadelphia Sheriff's Department has lost over 185 firearms, including 76 duty weapons, according to the Philadelphia Controller's Office. Of the missing service weapons, 71 are handguns and 5 are shotguns. Oh, the old dreaded handgun. The Sheriff's Office maintains that the department properly disposed of all service weapons except for 20 items. Oh, okay. This tickled me, all right? First of all, they can't come up with the claim or anything to support their claim that they accounted for all of the weapons that were missing, the 100 and something weapons. But they're saying we can account for all these weapons except for 20. That's like saying I only stole $100,000, not $300,000. You're still admitting massive failures in your inventory system for a very small group of guns. 100 and something guns is a lot to lose, but 100 and something guns is not hard to maintain. It's not like you had 1,000,000 guns and it got out of control. No, you didn't have that many to maintain into inventory. But it sounds like there's more to the story. The Controller's Office asserts that its follow-up investigation could confirm no evidence supporting that statement, and the sheriff could provide no documentation as far as proof. The Controller's Office still considers the firearms missing regardless of the lies by the Sheriff's Department. This is where it gets good. The Sheriff's Department also claims it gave some guns to retired officers and former employees. Get this. They gave firearms to non-employees, retired, and people who were no longer with the force. So just regular old people like me and you. They just gave them guns. Can I remind you that in this state, they have universal background checks? So according to their state, they illegally transferred firearms without an FFL, no license, no paperwork, no 4473s. They gave these guns to, quote, civilians. They gave these guns to regular old people in a state with universal background checks. That would be like them backing up to the back of the police station, opening the doors, and letting people come in off the street and just giving guns to them. It's exactly the same thing. It's literally the exact same thing. They could go down to the mall and just hand guns out, and it would be the exact same thing as to what they did right here. Now here we go, throwing people under the bus. The Sheriff's Department stated that they gave one or more of the missing guns to former Sheriff John Green. The Controller's Office demands that Green give back all the guns he received from the department. They demand that employees return all guns given to them by the department as well. Now the remaining missing guns that weren't given away to the sheriff and people who did not work for the Sheriff's Department, they're part of the, if you want to call it, domestic abuse program, where if you have somebody that's domestically abused, they take their guns from them. So they have taken guns from people and been temporarily housing them, basically quarantining those guns, if you want to use that term, until whatever, court systems gets cleared up on stuff like this, maybe charges are dropped or whatever. But they've lost those guns. So these people who are thinking that one day they may get their guns back, maybe they're hand-me-downs, maybe they're gifted, willed guns or something like that, thinking they're going to get their guns back, they're not getting them back because the Sheriff's Department has lost them. And I say lost because, come on guys, do you really think they're lost? Do you really think they lost them? This is not like a super special ink pen that you have. This is a gun. These are guns in pretty decent numbers that they have lost. Now, Sheriff Rochelle Bilal claims that the Controller's Office report is misleading. She claims the missing duty firearms are due solely to record-keeping errors. She blamed the Controller's Office for waiting so long to audit the Sheriff's Department. They completed the last audit 10 years ago. This sounds like your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill, I take no accountability for my own actions, liberal. It's y'all's fault that we lost the guns because you didn't audit me often enough. Are you kidding me? She is literally saying that you let us go too long without checking in on us and auditing us, and because of that, some of these guns disappeared. And she's saying it's clerical errors. Wait a minute. If it's a clerical error, then there should be a gun that is unaccounted for on paperwork, right? If it truly is a clerical error. If they can't find 100 guns and they attribute that to clerical errors, there should be 100 guns with a serial number that doesn't match or something that's unaccounted for, sitting somewhere that they say, we don't have numbers for these guns because numbers are transposed. That's how a clerical error would result in a problem like this. They don't have the physical firearms. That ain't a clerical error. That is a physical error. That is theft. That is stupidity. That is ignorance. That is incompetence. I'd like to remind everybody that the taxpayers are the ones who are on the hook for this. The taxpayers paid for all of these guns that are missing. And in my opinion, there should be an ethics violation or some kind of an investigation into the whole ethics thing. Because if people receive guns, that's an ethics violation. You're not supposed to be able to receive gifts, especially on the taxpayer's dime, anywhere in this country. Ethics codes will totally prohibit that. So the sheriff, the former sheriff, he's got some ethics violations to answer for. All these other people that they say they gave guns to, ethics violation. And in fact, the people who gave the guns away and approved the giving of the guns away, those are ethics violations. You can't simply just give public property away that taxpayer dollars have paid for. That's not how the system works. These were illegal transfers, transferring without an FFL, and again, this is a gun running scheme. And if anybody made any money off of this, cash deals or whatever, there goes a whole nother set of violations. As long as the Biden administration is holding all these FFLs' feet to the fire right now and purposely attempting to put them out of business, we're letting stuff like this go on? No. People, we need to be speaking out more on this. I would recommend make anonymous phone calls to your local police departments or sheriff's departments if you suspect anything, or if you would like to have audits done in your particular areas. I would call in. This is out of control. And if somebody is going to use the excuse that you did not police me hard enough, so we made mistakes, they're telling on themselves. Govern me harder, Big Daddy.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's so horrible.